All right, so this is question number 8. The instruction for question number 8 was to solve each equation by factoring. We have to solve it, so that way we need to find the values of v that would make the equation true. Now to do this, if you notice in the previous examples, every single equation is equal to 0. So we kind of want to keep that form in there as well. To do so, I'm going to move my 2v term to the other side of the equation. When I move 2v, I'm doing the inverse operation. So opposite of 2v is subtracting 2v from both sides. That is going to give me an expression equation equivalent to v squared minus 2v equals to 0. Now as you can see, this expression is the same as v squared minus 2v plus 0 as my constant, all equal to 0. So when I factor it out, or to solve it, I need to be able to factor it out first before finding the appropriate values for v. So to factor it out, I'm going to use my diamond problem. So the product of the coefficients and the constant is going to be 1 times 0, which is 0. And then the sum is the coefficient of v term, which is negative 2. Again, notice that I'm just using the numbers without the variables, because if I'm going to use the variables, then I have to go from the diamond problem to a generic rectangle, and then from the generic rectangle to factoring. Using only the coefficients of the terms is going to help me skip that extra step. Okay, so now since the coefficient of v squared is 1, I know that v times v is going to give me v squared. And before I enter anything in those binomials, I need to determine which two numbers are going to make this diamond work. So I know that if I multiply 0 times negative 2, I get 0. If I add 0 to a negative 2, I get negative 2. So I'm just going to take those numbers and transfer them into my binomial. Okay. Now, if I'm going to set each of the equations equal to 0, now the only way this term is going to give me a 0 is when v is 0. And then in this case, the only way I'm going to get 0 out of this guy is when v is equal to positive 2, because 2 minus 2 gives me 0. So here are my two possible answers.